Return on ad spend is one of those things that I get asked about all the time. And usually I get asked, what is that? And then what's a good one? Well, I can answer those questions relatively easily. First question is, what is return on ad spend? It's basically a percentage that represents revenue divided by spend. So if you have a 500% ROAS, that means that you spend $1 to make five, or $100 to make $500, right? It's a 5-to-1 ratio. It's another way to think of it. 1,000% ROAS, every dollar you spend, you get $10 in revenue in return. So what's a good return on ad spend? Well, there isn't one, right? It depends on what you're trying to do. If you're a manufacturer, usually your ROAS is lower. You're in that 300 to 500% range. If you're a retailer, usually your ROAS target is higher, right? You want to be in that 500 to 1,000% range. Here's a tip. Return on ad spend is almost always higher than whatever is being reported in Google Ads, Google Analytics, etc. Facebook ads might be the exception. Facebook ads, whatever they report, is usually as high as ROAS could possibly be. Oftentimes, it's lower. Anyway, most of the time, your revenue attribution is not correct, and that's because some consumers are actively blocking tracking. They have privacy add-ons or privacy settings in their browsers that kind of screw everything up for us in terms of measurement. There also are some browsers that do this for people whether they ask for it or not. Cough, Apple. So whatever the problems are with attribution and calculating revenue back to ads, it's going to get worse. So one of my big takeaways for anyone when I talk about ROAS is just remember, whatever ROAS we calculate, almost always, and again, Facebook would be the exception. Facebook ads would be the exception. ROAS is underestimated rather than overestimated. And so it might be worth taking a holistic approach to ROAS, meaning you take a look at all the revenue you've got coming in and all the profit on that revenue and allocate ad spend according to that number. So anyway, what should ROAS targets be? Well, it depends on your goal, right? If your goal is to maximize profits, then the very best thing you can do to find the perfect ROAS target is to change the ROAS target every couple of weeks or a month, see what impact that has on revenue. When you're setting a ROAS target, you're on like Google Ads, for example, you're competing with other manufacturers or other retailers selling the same products. If you set your ROAS goal lower than them, you might capture more of the revenue in the market. So even though your margins will be lower because you're spending more on advertising, your overall profit dollars may go up. And so that's the way you figure that out, right, as you experiment. If you're trying to maximize growth, though, meaning grow as quick as you can, and you're not super concerned about profitability, then all you do is set your ROAS at the lowest possible target that you can afford without losing any money. Right? It's really simple. Rules of thumb for return on ad spend. First of all, if you've got a product that has a MAP policy or a high margin, your ROAS target's probably going to be lower. There's a lot of people out there willing to sell that part for a skinny margin. So if it's a high margin part and they're willing to sell it for a small amount of profit, then you're going to have a lower ROAS target. Vice versa, if a product does not have a MAP policy in place, or if it's very low margin, then the ROAS target's probably going to be really high. If you're not sure, you can set your margin or target ROAS between 400 and 700%. Most companies end up in that range. If you've got more questions about return on ad spend, give us a call, contact us, email us, whatever. We do ad management for Google, Facebook/Instagram, Microsoft/Bing, Amazon. We do some native ads. We do a bunch of stuff. I'm a little bit of an ad expert when it comes to auto parts and accessories, so I'd love to talk to you. Anyway, thanks for watching.